Welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo Up, a podcast where we talk about pop music. We're halfway through our deep dive of the UK Top 10 Singles Chart of the 2nd of February 2020. I'm James Cook.
I'm Andy Robinson.
And here is what we've covered so far.
Hang on, what are we covering so far? The songs that have been numbers 10 to 6, just to reiterate?
That's correct, Andy. That's correct.
I'm just going to give it a little, let's call it, one-sentence summary.
So, down 2 to number 10, Roxanne by Arizona Zervas.
Bitches love the gram.
Sounds so weird when you say it. Up 1 to number 9, a former number 1 from Lewis Capaldi and Someone You Loved.
I was not overly fond of this song, but, you know, it's heartfelt.
Up 3 to number 8, Billie Eilish and Everything I Wanted.
Great song, thanks, Billy.
Down 1 to 7, Life Is Good by Future featuring Drake.
It was new to me, but when I listened to it, life was good.
And up 1 to 6, Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa.
Exactly how you should deal with a breakup. Are you listening, Lewis?
All the songs featured can be found on our Spotify and YouTube playlists, links in the description. And if you join our Patreon community, you can get access to our bonus tracks, half a dozen songs that are in the chart but aren't in the top 10. Here's a taste of what you can expect from that. All classical music is cover versions.
Beethoven.
Orchestras are covers bands.
I thought I can either vote for the future of the country or I can go and watch loads of pop stars. What better metaphor do you need for the beauty of pop music? It is a tale of heartbreak, yet defiance, isn't it?
Yeah, and a song I would never have listened to without doing this podcast.
Come on now, time for your afternoon nap.
Join our community now at patreon.com/ShoobyPodcast.
Number 5.
Number 5, it's a former number 1, down 2 this week. It is Own It by Stormzy, Ed Sheeran and Burna Boy. Another 4-song cyclical chord pattern, round and round and round.
And another collaboration.
Yeah.
Interestingly, there are no bands in this top 10, but there are quite a lot of collaborations between various solo artists.
It's a new way, James.
That's how they
capitalise on each other's markets, you know. It's a complaint of the middle-aged man. There's no bands about these days.
There are. They're just all on the legacy circuit, mate.
Or not getting in the top 10. It's the era of the pop star for sure. What did you make of this song?
Yeah, again, it took me a couple of listens to get my head around it. It hasn't grown on me as much as Arizona Zervas or the Billie Eilish song. I think I get it, although it's not something I would particularly choose to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? I like some Stormy records. I like Ed Sheeran songs, some of them. Burna Boy, I like some of them. Yet in this record, the three of them, I think, make a week apart.
It's less than the sum of its parts.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so. I like the Burna Boy bits of the chorus, especially. That's the best bits of that record.
Which bits are they?
The chorus, essentially.
Yeah, because it's all about owning it.
Yeah, which is a phrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's that conjure up for you?
If you've got a personality trait, lean into it.
Yeah, be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be a bit sexy down the clubs and the bars as well, isn't it? It's got that for that feeling.
All right, I will.
I'm not telling you. It's them three Charlies. I mean, you know, again, I watched the video a bit because I didn't want it popping up on my Spotify algorithms once I realised what it was. And, you know, it's the three of them being, let's call it kings of the world at the moment. They're all huge pop stars, and they all turn up to do this song. They're all hanging about in a club, leaning around, doing their verses. I mean, it's all right, but I found it pretty empty. It's catchy enough, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know if it is catchy enough.
It was a former number 1 down to it's probably spent 8 million years on the charts, you know.
Again, I just like, why is this a single?
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of like the Avengers Assemble or something. We're all going to come together. We're going to make a song. It's going to be sufficient.
Do you think Samuel L. Jackson put them all together?
I don't watch those films, so I'm sort of laughing at the
bonus
reference.
track at the end of an Ed Sheeran album where he tries to get him together for this initiative.
It's got a boys' club feel, hasn't it? I listened to it half a dozen times trying to find the joy in it. There's joys in it.
I think Stormzy's a good bloke.
Do you?
From what I hear.
Has he helped you move a fridge on a Saturday morning? Why do you think?
No, he funds scholarships at the University of Cambridge.
Does he?
Yeah. Called the Stormzy Scholarship for Black UK Students.
Yeah, cool.
What a lovely thing.
Yep.
And he's been an advocate for a lot of good causes, and he's outspoken on various things.
I'm by and large a supporter of Stormzy. I think he's great. Yeah, like I say, this song.
Do you know what his real name is?
Stormzy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Go on.
Michael Ebenezer Kwadwo Omari Awuo Jr. I like Ebenezer being in there.
Should meet up with Aubrey.
Yeah. And it's like he's already had the dream with the 3 ghosts because he's giving money to charity already. You boy, what day is this? Go and get me a Cambridge scholarship fund.
Burna Boy, again, he's an artist I hear now and again. He's huge, isn't he? He's one of the most streamed artists ever in the world, ever. This is a record about the Titans coming together.
Yeah, I have to say Burna Boy is the one of them that I knew the least about. Sometimes I feel a bit like the old person who's wandered into a record shop in 1955 and gone, who is this Elvis Presley?
But, this is a notion, isn't it? We were talking about the charts. We're talking about it from our perspective, middle-aged men, white men, I'm going to say, all that. Nothing wrong with that. We're allowed to speak, but...
And boy, don't we. Have you seen the podcast charts?
My friend said the other day, he said, I don't know anything about this, but... And I thought, that's great. That's a good example.
That's the slogan of middle-aged white men everywhere.
Maybe.
We should get that in Latin. I mean, I don't know Latin, but I'll probably just make it up and it'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I sort of wonder, especially when we do the more modern chart. But like I say, there's loads of records in the charts I was engaged with. Not this one.
This is produced by Fred again.
Oh yes, huge DJ, isn't he? He's causing big stirs at the moment, doing festival sets and all that.
Yeah, real name Fred Gibson. He's descended from Huntingdonshire landed gentry. His great-grandmother, Anna Charteris, had also been married to Lord Rothermere and Ian Fleming. Fred again co-wrote the song Shotgun by George Ezra, which makes me think that song's actually about a hunting trip.
I cannot be helped but reminded a little bit of the futility. I like it, I don't think it's this, I don't think that enough. And yet, they're just huge records, aren't they?
Huge.
Shall I bring up my Nile Rodgers for theory? Once a week I have to do this.
Okay.
He says if there's a record that's in the top 40, it's obviously a good song because it connects with people and they spend their hard-earned, in this case, time with it, let's say, rather than spending money on it. You can't argue with it. It's a big hit. Loads of people loved it, and there am I grumbling from the sidelines, a bit like when I used to watch certain midfielders play for West Bromwich Albion. If it was me, I would have done it differently. What's that doing? That that.
Oh no! If it was me, I would have done it much worse. That would have been awful.
Quite.
If it was Stormzy, Burna Boy, and me,
yeah,
they'd be doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, you don't think the record would be as good?
No. I think I'd be edited out of it.
It's important to remember that kind of thing. I talk to musicians and let's use the examples of U2 and Sting, a little bit like we mentioned before. I see musicians, they're going, U2 are rubbish, Sting's rubbish. And I think, you're playing in a bar in Stoke-on-Trent on a Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? It's important to be aware of, isn't it?
Yep.
Number 4.
Last week's number 1, now at 4, Eminem featuring Juice WRLD and Godzilla.
Yeah.
Well, you're an Eminem fan, aren't you?
Well, I thought I was. I realised I didn't know this song, and when I saw what album it came from, I thought I missed it. So, I thought I sort of kept up to date with Eminem. Seemingly I didn't. Yeah, I love Eminem. I love him when he's being funny, especially like some of his other songs. I think, yeah. But when he's on the let's call it his humorous tip, he's so appealing.
He's a satirist, isn't he? Really
amazing. There's a pop music website where they review new singles I really like called Singles Jukebox. Shout out to the contributors of Singles Jukebox. Really great site it is. And when the new Eminem record just came out recently, Houdini, I was excited. I told you about it at the time, didn't I? So excited.
You showed me the video.
Yeah, so excited about it.
You were like, come and watch this video.
I thought it was a work of art and it's amazing. I thought everyone's going to love this. Made me feel young again. I thought Eminem being brilliant. I looked on this website, Singles Jukebox, about a new single. I'm going to say these writers, these critics, they're not having him at all. I think, oh man, I'm out of touch, but I'm not out of touch. He's amazing, and where can we start with this record? Let's start with his technical flow.
The third verse on the track holds the record for the fastest rap verse ever, rapping 11 syllables per second, or 222 words in 30 seconds, and a peak burst of 12.73 syllables per second. Because I was listening to that and I was going, if nothing else, this is incredibly impressive. Yeah. This is like a little parlour trick thing. My brain can't keep up with the words that you're saying. I'm picking up the odd word in it. I'm pretty sure this is quite funny, but it's going so quickly I can't keep up with it.
It starts off fast, and then it just ratchets up every time, doesn't it? Every time there's a thing in it. I mean, and by the end of it, when he's spitting out them things, again, I don't think it's vintage Eminem because it's quite single subject, let's say. He's quite monotonous, really. And yet, because of his ability and his vocabulary and his skills, I'm going to read them a bit slowly. Fill them with the venom and eliminate them. Other words, I minute made them. I don't want to hurt them, but I did. I'm in a fit of rage. I'm murdering again. Nobody will evade. I'm going to kill them and dump all their bodies in the lake, blah, blah, blah. And it just comes at you, thrilling.
you kind of go, oh, he's rapping really quick now. Oh, and then he steps it up a notch. It made me think of an old episode of the kids' TV show Record Breakers that I watched when I was a kid, where they had Daddy Freddy on as the world's fastest rapper, and he's going to break the world record for the world's fastest rap. And I found this clip on YouTube. It's got Cheryl Baker and Roy Castle. Daddy Freddy comes on. Cheryl Baker tries to have a little interview with him, but it's very sort of matter of fact. And then he gets up behind the mic and there's a DJ dancing around. And then he starts rapping, and then there's like a noise, and then he has a minute to do as many syllables as possible.
Yeah.
And I remember when that was on, getting really excited and thinking it was going to be like the Eminem rap in this song, where it's going to be actual words that mean something. But it's just him going, like that. It's just him making noises.
Right.
And then the timer goes off and he stops. And Roy Castle hilariously says, "That was lovely," which is a brilliant way to describe it. And then they go to the adjudicator, who is the actor Vaz Blackwood, from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. And he's upstairs and he's got a reel-to-reel tape player and he's playing it really slowly. And he's got like a bouncer's door clicker clicking every syllable. And
Different
that's how they're doing
times.
it. And then he runs down the stairs with a bit of paper with the new number on it. And he's broken the world record.
Cool. I'm sure Eminem and Juice WRLD will be delighted to hear us say reminder of this. How we didn't mention Juice WRLD, the departed rapper, isn't he? He sings the chorus. I like the gist of the song. It's essentially the verse is doing what it is, and the chorus. He's a monster. I mean, Eminem by the numbers, in big inverted commas, by the numbers, is still much more interesting than loads of other people.
Shall we talk about Juice WRLD?
Yeah.
He'd passed away before this song came out.
Yeah.
He died in December 2019 during a drugs raid by the LAPD on his private jet. He allegedly swallowed a load of Percocet pills to hide them and died of an overdose.
Tragic.
It was less than a week after his 21st birthday. He is the fourth most streamed artist in the world.
Serious?
Yeah. 6 billion streams.
Yeah.
But not around to see it because of a crazy, stupid freak accident. He had drug problems and he thought that was a good thing to do. And
the video is quite touching, part of being hilarious. I think Eminem's such a great actor when he's doing his humorous rap videos, let's call them. There's a nice touching little tribute to Juice WRLD at the end of it, and it, again, watching the video had an emotional impact on me, whatever that was. I loved it as well because I looked at the again, because I was watching the video. I thought I'll do some research on the YouTube comments after. They're talking about the speed of Eminem's flow on this record, and there's loads of comments like Eminem's mum after giving birth, "Doctor, why is he not breathing? Doctor, he's rapping." Thank you, SJCM70D. There's one that said loads about sometimes I pause Eminem songs just so I can hear him breathe. That's some softy puzzles, that comment. My favourite one was off someone called Noob Among Us, and she says, about after listening to Eminem's flow, "This is actually how my maths teacher talks when doing maths."
You'd get through your lessons a lot quicker. I did my GCSEs in 3 months.
Also, I'm going to put a little point out to Eminem. Even on this song, he's got about 3 or 4 different voices going on. When the new verse starts, you think he's gone somewhere else vocally in his register. All this stuff that is so impressive and keeps you interested.
He's like the South Park of music, isn't he?
Yeah, go on then. I'll back you up.
Yeah, because he makes satirical points in quite a profane and outrageous way. Yeah, but playfully.
So self-aware he is as well. Yeah.
And fully aware of what it is he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a phenomenon, as I say. That's hardly breaking news. The thing about me and Eminem, I've spotted a real talent.
Or as Eminem would say, a phenomenon.
In the barrage of lyrics that comes up, there's a lot of cultural references. You love a little quiz, putting a little quiz on me, don't you?
I do.
I'm going to see if you know what some of these cultural references are in the Eminem song.
Okay.
Did you dig into the lyrics?
A little bit.
There's so many. Do you know who, as mentioned in the song, Bobby the Brain Heenan is?
He's a wrestler, isn't he? WWF wrestler.
That's right.
From the 90s.
Do you know what Hydroxcut is?
Hydroxcut? Is it a haircut where you bleach your hair blonde?
No, it's a weight loss energy drug that he's talking about overdosing on.
Okay.
He mentions Ice Road Truckers in the chorus.
Yeah, TV show, yeah.
I've never watched it. Any good?
I haven't. Why do you assume I've watched it? You look at me and go, he looks like the kind of person who watched Ice Road Truckers.
Because in a previous bit, you've told me about Roy Castle, and then a little bit...
Roy Castle does not host Ice Road Truckers.
He talks about being a product of Slick Rick and Onyx.
Slick Rick was the DJ, wasn't he?
Yeah. It is a rapper, Slick Rick, not a DJ.
Oh, sorry.
So it's Onyx. Onyx are a hip-hop group. But I looked up... I don't know Onyx, let's be honest. And I sort of looked up them on the internet, what's Onyx. And it was a semi-precious variety of agates with different colours in the layers. So I clicked on a gate because I don't know what that means. Agate's an ornamental stone consisting of a chalcedony, typically banded in appearance. I didn't know what chalcedony was. I clicked on that. That's a microcrystalline type of quartz occurring in several different forms, including onyx and agate. I was back to where I started. I learned nothing about rap, and I thought, damn this internet. And well done, James, for all the research he does.
Yeah, I just don't write down those loops that I get into.
I went into it. He talks about Risperdal. Do you know what that is?
Some kind of drug, by the sounds of
For
it.
schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and autism. Richard Ramirez, he mentions.
Richard Ramirez. Mm-hmm. I know that name.
One of your mates. I think you helped him back in the day.
What?
I'm being stupid. He is a serial killer.
Oh, that's right.
Should we have a look at what he did, or should we move on from that?
How grim is it?
It's pretty bleak.
We're not that podcast.
All right, yeah.
We're not isn't serial killing fun? We're not that podcast.
We are the more that isn't slagging Lewis Capaldi off entertaining for our own imagination.
Which is more morally reprehensible these days.
I was doing a bit of stand-up recently, messing around with my guitar as I do. This made me think how careful you have to tread. I had the crowd with me. I was sort of doing songs in different styles. It was working quite well. I thought this is going good. Someone suggested Lewis Capaldi to me. As a joke, I did a little tick.
Yeah.
They started booing me immediately. It was interesting, do you know what I mean? That kind of, I was thinking, the wind's behind me, we were messing around. I hadn't bought it. I hadn't come out going, I'll tell you what about Lewis Capaldi, he's a ticky fuck.
They'd asked for him.
I'd asked for him, and I did a silly little joke immediately. Modern sensibilities thought, I might have misremembered it and I was already dying, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't. I think he mentions Christian Rivera in it, but I thought, no way. To rhyme with Richard Ramirez, there's a little thing I thought, is that Christian Rivera, the Spanish midfielder? Seems unlikely, doesn't it?
You never know with Eminem. He's got all these references in his head.
Yeah. As you alluded to at the beginning, first few listens, it's a lot to take in, isn't it? But his lyrics to me, they often make me think, what's that? What are you going on about there? Who's that a reference to? Always entertaining.
Number 3.
Roddy Ricch, The Box. What's it called?
The Box? No, it is called The Box.
Yeah.
It feels like that shouldn't be the title.
What did you make of this song? Again, I was not familiar with this song.
No, nor me. Yeah, I didn't like it to start with. I'm still not entirely sure, but I don't hate it as much now.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it might grow on me if I keep listening to it.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask myself, do I want to keep listening to it?
Time is finite.
It is.
We've only got so many choices. Yeah, again, this surprised me a little bit because I heard it. I thought, that's number 2 or whatever it is. Okay. I thought, that's not a single in my head. Clicked on how many views it had. Clicked on how many listens it had. I also clicked on a YouTube video where he's performing it at some sort of Radio 1 festival. It surprised me. All the kids in it, they know every word. They are singing along to it. This is a big record again. I like the little ee-oo at the beginning.
Apparently that was inspired by Michael Jackson.
Oh, really?
That's him trying to do a Michael Jackson noise.
The,
It isn't a Michael Jackson noise, is it? It's its own thing.
Could argue Teletubbies, but only I was being stupid. Again, I don't quite know what this record's about.
Yeah, he says, I had to put the stick in a box.
Gun, I thought.
Is it?
Maybe.
It's not like waving a sausage in a butcher's bin. It's not that, is it?
Nope. I think the box is a metaphor, isn't it? He alludes to getting some drugs out of a box. I think he maybe hides a gun in the box. He puts a stick, maybe a gun in the box. I couldn't quite get my head round it without Googling it. Again, 2 silly old men talking about it, isn't it? There's definitely references I did Google, actually. Like, it goes on about slat in the chorus. Do you know what that is?
I thought it was like, on a blind, on a Venetian blind, the slats.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about that.
No, it means slime love all the time.
Slime love?
Yeah. It's an acronym.
All the time?
Yeah.
What's slime love?
Again, I looked it up like a silly old duffer.
Yeah.
It seems to be a kind of, let's call it a brotherly love.
Oh, okay.
For your gang, I think. Slime Love is an all-encompassing.
All right. It's not like Gunge, like Noel Edmonds would have.
You would think so, wouldn't you? Slime Love, again, with our silly references. You think, what are you talking about? Actually, it's a lot beautiful than that.
Oh, that's quite nice then,
Yeah.
I suppose.
I mean, he's sipping lean. Do you know what that? Again, these are all things that to Google. You know what lean is?
No.
It's a cough medicine, which, you know, a bit like the crunk.
It's a bit like Tixie Licks.
Yeah, they're all on the Tixie Licks, aren't they? Having a great time by the sound of it.
Have me some Junior Disprin.
He mentions George Zimmerman, who was the... Go on.
Yeah, he was the guy who shot the young lad, wasn't he?
Trelon.
And got away with it.
Yeah. So, you know, there's loads of cultural references that aren't at my fingertips within this song, and it's to be applauded, isn't it?
I like the line, "Bitch, don't wear no shoes in my house." I mean, despite it being a double negative, which bothers me, I like the, take your shoes off, come on.
Right.
Come on. This carpet wasn't free. I don't know where you've been.
Getting Slime Love all over it. We are mocking it.
We're not mocking it.
No, I'm just...
We're not.
No, we're not. We're not mocking it. And... Again, you say, will I live with this record? Will I hear it again? Have I put it on any of my own personal playlists? Not yet. It opened me up anyway to what's sort of going on that I didn't hear about in the top 10. There's got so many people who love this song.
Yeah, it's a huge hit. For Roderick Wayne Moore Jr., to give him his real name, I love his album title.
What is it?
Please excuse me for being antisocial. I mean, it depends how you say it, but, excuse me for being antisocial is how my brain says it.
Makes me think that loads of comedians will have that for the next Edinburgh show.
Number 2.
Up to number 2, it'll go on to spend 8 weeks at number 1 and become the most streamed song in the history of Spotify. Blinding Lights by The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was aware of the popularity of this song anyway. That was omnipresent for a bit. Even in lockdown, I seem to hear it out and about. And I mean, it's a huge record, isn't it?
Yep. Over 5 billion units worldwide. That includes like streams and downloads and whatnot. In the United States, it was in the top 10 for a year. So, you know, we were saying about Lewis Capaldi was in the charts for 4 years or something, but that was going out into the 40s and out towards 100 and back again.
Top 10
this
for
was
a year?
Top 10 for
Amazing.
a year in
Amazing.
America as well. And it's the first song ever to do that.
To hark back to Niles Rodgers' philosophy, if it connects with people, it must be a good song.
It is. And really, a-ha must be absolutely killing themselves because
quite.
this sounds like the a-ha song that never was.
Quite. I mean, they're absolutely using Take On Me, as Harry Styles did a little bit with whatever song, as it was, I think. I mean, seemingly big hits have been pilfered a little bit.
And as it was, follows on from Blinding Lights as well.
So we're just, essentially, modern society is just waiting for remakes of A Hard Take On Me.
But, you know, all 60s music was remakes of blues records.
Wow.
And so forth.
I'm being a bit daft, of course. I mean, you can't argue with the stats, as I say. It's a 4-chorder again. Another one that goes round and round and round and round, essentially. So that I find that a bit boring, personally. I can't argue with its success, of course, but it's catchy enough. Sounds great. Catchy chords.
I think it's really good. I really like it.
You love it.
Do I love it? I don't know. I really like it.
Would you put it on as a choice at any point in your life? Have you ever thought, right in the mood, or is it just a song that happens around you?
I think it's a bit like Get Lucky in that if you made a choice to play it, it'd be a bit like, come on, it's a bit obvious, isn't it? It's a bit on the nose. So putting Bohemian Rhapsody on, I suppose. You know, it's so well known and so everywhere. There's no point you playing it.
Yeah, quite. You will hear it whether you're going to like it or not. Won't you? I mean, again, you know what we do. I'm kind of listening to it more closely rather than it just being around in while you're picking up your Lewis Capaldi pizzas in a supermarket that you hear in the background sometimes. You hear it all over the place, don't you? I couldn't quite get my head around. The lyrics are nebulous at best, aren't they? And not, as you've talked about before, there might be a universality to them. You can apply your own meaning, but I think they're pretty specific. They're pretty dull, the lyrics, I think.
Yeah, the song's not about that. It's about the momentum of the drum, I think.
Yeah, okay.
That drum sound, you know, that propels the song forward.
The incessant keyboard drift. Yeah, I mean, hooks all over the place, isn't it? But again, you know, I don't quite know what he's saying. He seems to be up and about late at night and he misses his partner. That's essentially, I think, what the song's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
He talks about being in Sin City, doesn't he? So
in
it might
Vegas.
So, you know, that's...
He's like driving around Vegas and he can't see the lights because he's thinking about his missus. Or Mr.
No, he can see the lights. He's blinded by them.
Yeah, but if you're blinded, you can't see.
Ah, good point. Good point.
I suppose it's like a can you see the wood for the trees scenario, isn't it?
I suppose so. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a song for all occasions. Weddings. As I mentioned before, I've heard it in supermarkets. It's on the radio all the bleeding time. You hear it out and about in pubs and clubs, don't you?
Yep. Do you think it'll stand the test of time?
Yeah, I think the most successful song of all time will probably stand the test of time, yeah.
Which only most successful in the current metric that exists,
yeah.
which is streaming on Spotify.
But I mean, there's an argument, isn't that, in terms of the availability of music, if it's the most streamed song of all time, then people are turning to it, rather than I'm going to buy this record and keep it in my singles box. It must be popular.
Or the algorithm thinks it is.
Darn the algorithm.
We've spoken a lot about songs in this chart that get nominated for Song of the Year at the Grammys. The Grammys in this year, The Weeknd was not nominated for any Grammy Awards at all.
Wow.
So not for Best Artist, not for the song, for this, not for the album. Nothing. Completely overlooked. And yet the song is hugely successful.
Yeah.
Were the Grammys right, in your opinion?
It's an undoubtedly brilliant record. For my taste, it's a average song, and never the twain shall meet. It doesn't matter, does it? The songwriting, for my tastes, there's no point arguing. Is there?
There's no point in any of this, Andy. Stop pointing it out.
No, it's a dynamic, James. I'm interested in this week because these songs, especially with modern technology, this is the most streamed song ever. This has been in the charts forever. So the facts don't lie, do they? But, and if we are bringing our personal taste to it, and I think, which is part of it, undoubtedly, but I'm struggling with it a little bit this week because the charts, despite being full of record breakers, there's a Roy Castle reference again, but despite the full of being world beaters, there's a little bit of me, especially with the bigger songs, I'm not thrilled by them. I don't think it's because I'm old, but like I mentioned at the beginning, there's loads of records I'm thrilled by in the top 40 this week.
Co-written by Max Martin.
Well, that makes sense.
Or Carl Martin Sandberg, to give him his real name. Oh, The Weeknd's real name, Abel Makonnen Tesfaye. Canadian-born to Ethiopian parents. Why is there no third E in Weekend?
Is there a reason?
Yes.
Go on.
It's because of a Canadian band called The Weeknd that disbanded in 2005, but he was worried that there'd be some kind of copyright issue. So he just said, I'll take the third E out of it.
It's a good little pop gimmick, isn't it? Taking that, It allows people like me and you to go, Weeknd, and talk about it and be a bit silly about it. It's good gimmick.
The UK's number one.
At number one this week, up 4 to its premier position, the only week it will ever be number one. Here he comes again. What's that coming over the hill? Is it a Capaldi? It's Lewis Capaldi, number one with Before You Go.
Before you go, have some pizza.
I'm going to have a little break from my Lewis Capaldi talk. What did you make of this song? What do you make of this song? Any good stats?
It's the same as the other one, isn't it?
Similar.
It's very similar. And it is a bit like the Billie Eilish song. This is more about suicide than a breakup.
Is it?
Well, apparently it is about his aunt's suicide. I think it's quite suspicious that a lot of Lewis Capaldi's family appear to be dying.
Right.
But as we have said, we're not that podcast.
Yeah. And like I say, a personal song about suicide, I don't want to make light of.
No.
Here we go, though. It's a 4-chorder that keeps going round and round again. Another one of them using, I believe, the Stand By Me chords, essentially, But you feel it. I mean, like Taylor Swift, she'll write songs like that. Yet she's so inventive with it. For me, again, God bless you, Lewis Capaldi. I'm going to try your pizzas, but I'm not.
It's just 4 ingredients. Do you think they're all 4 cheese pizzas?
Yeah. I mean, there's one bit I like. In the second verse, it goes, was never the right time whenever he called, went little by little by little until there was nothing at all. That's a little bit of skippiness. And I'm thinking, all right, then, we might be going somewhere. No. I'm not having these songs. I'm not digging them. They don't make me feel anything. Which I think is all you want from pop music, isn't it? To just have a little feel of something.
And it's clearly designed to make you feel something.
If designed is the right word, created, written. Yeah, all right. It's an important distinction, though.
Yeah, and for lots of people, it does mean something.
Undoubtedly.
It's just we're 2 bitter old cynical hacks and we dead inside. Or we're the only ones who know the truth.
That's how it starts, isn't it? Oh, no, the truth. Lewis Capaldi. He's a psyop. Yeah, I mean, what can you say about this song? It goes round and round. It's about suicide, so tread carefully. I'm not making light of anybody who's been that way. In fact, I might talk a little bit about that in Patreon. But I've got nothing with this song except, well done, Lewis. Your writing obviously connects with loads of people, and that's something I could never achieve, will never achieve. So whatever a good metaphor is for throwing stones at something that is popular.
People in sheds shouldn't throw podcasts.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, no.
Quattro accordi. It's 4 chords in Italian. I looked it up. That's his pizza. I like that he doesn't look like a pop star.
Yeah. A friend of mine, though, who's a woman, she says this sometimes. She feels a bit like we've seen this week, like Lewis Capaldi and Ed Sheeran, the boy next door thing. They're kind of, the man is allowed to be average looking and a pop star. She still doesn't think that balance has been given to women, really, that you can look a little bit like you're just waiting at the bus stop or just get out of bed. So she believes that's a kind of sexism in the music industry. So, yeah, I like the fact he looks achievable.
You too could have a body like Lewis Capaldi.
If you neglect it.
And just eat loads of pizza.
Yeah. He's all right, isn't he? Like I say, I haven't watched his documentary where he talks a little bit about more of his mental health issues. Again, I don't know, slag him off for people who like this song or sensitive to suicide. So I'm going to be a little bit of a cowardly custard and go, great song.
It's number one, isn't it?
Number one. It's number one, innit? I mean, out of all the music, especially in the charts these days, where old records, old songs can come back in at the drop of a hat if it's popular on TikTok or the features on whatever, it's an achievement. To have 2 records in the top 10, I mean, you've got to be brilliant to have 2 records in the top 10, and they've got to be 2 brilliant songs.
So what's your favourite from this chart?
This week, I mean, I spent no money, or, you know, I was still in the process, I think, pre-lockdown of spending 79 pence, 99 pence if I was liking a song, buying it to give the artist something. I thought that was fair. That's long gone, what we're streaming nowadays. There were records I bought in the top 40, all of which I am blathering around. I'm going to go for Roxanne. So simple, and so unexpectedly gave me a thrill, and I've been singing it all week.
No, I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. But
the top 10 in general?
No, Roxanne. Right. But yeah, Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa is my favourite.
Okay, and what did you make of the top 10 as a, let's call it collective, as a snapshot of pre-pandemic Britain?
I think there are some massive songs there. So you got the Lewis Capaldi, you got The Weeknd, you got Dua Lipa, and then there's a lot of filler. It felt a lot of filler to me.
It's not my favourite top 10.
I don't think it's the best of Drake or Stormzy there. I think the Roddy Ricch one is
Honourable mentions to Roddy Ricch.
I mean, Eminem's there doing his thing. But even you as an Eminem fan, you said you didn't even realise that was in the top 10.
Yeah.
So there are some peaks and then there's a lot of meh.
As I say,
but then it's not for me, is it, that chart?
You can access it, though, as we've just done. What you're saying is you're saying pop music and the charts top 10 is for the kids.
Well, certainly for people younger than me, I would have been 42.
Inherently. My main issue with it was just how many cyclical 4-chord songs were in it. So it wasn't, the variety of, let's call it the writing. But, that's only if you listen to that. Most people don't care about that.
I think there are better songs coming up in the Patreon episode when we look at the songs that are outside the top 10 in this week. If you want to sign up, all the details are in the description.
Yeah, I haven't chose better songs. I've chose interesting songs for the Patreon. But like I say, there's loads of great records in the top 40 around this time. And it's nature of the beast. Who dares wins, who's fittest survives. They're the top 10, aren't they? If you like, subscribe and follow. What else do I say, James? My apologies.
We've got to get people to rate and review. If you've enjoyed this and you think other people would like it as well, you've got to tell other people about it because we will be awful at that. If anyone's listening to this, it's a miracle. So we need more people to do it.
Yeah, give us a positive review. All that. You know what they're saying over a podcast. Let's hitch on the back of that. Give us a positive review if you can.
If you can bring yourself to like this,
yeah, that'd be
please
good.
Like it.
I mean, if you're a Lewis Capaldi fan, I'm eternally sorry.
Or actually, put it on a Lewis Capaldi fan site. We could do with the controversy to drive some traffic.
Yeah, I mean, I hope I haven't been too controversial.
I don't think you have.
Apart from just saying them 2 songs don't do it for me. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at other top 10s in the future. Make sure you subscribe so you get those into your podcast feed first. Until then, I'm James Cook.
I'm Andy Robertson.
Ta-ra.
Shooby dooby doo up.